We are going to study today how you could be manipulated if you are not being careful. Actually, this is from a TV show. There was a clip I was studying myself when I was trying to improve my skills in communication with conversational hypnosis, sleight of mouth. I was just gathering many clips from movies where some protagonist of the movie was persuading effortlessly somebody else, and I was trying to find the commonalities into all of those scenes, what it is that they were saying that was really clever in the way to use persuasion. And this one was one of them from the TV show Power, involving some drug lords. Basically, there are those two characters, Tommy and Ghost, who have been friends from their early childhood and have been building their drug empire together. And Ghost, this one, wants to slightly get out of the business and become a gentleman who is only conducting illegal activities, whereas Tommy just wants to dig deeper into the business, into the drug lord business, and becoming the biggest drug lord New York City has ever known. So the clip takes place when another guy, a shady other drug lord from Eastern Europe called Milan, is trying to convince Tommy to just remove Ghost from the picture and become his associate, and he wants to play with his mind so that Tommy will just obey him and completely remove Ghost from the picture. I thought it was a great clip to break down, to uncover manipulation tactics and how manipulators of all ages, of all types around you might be using those tricky phrases and language patterns and behaviors, subtle behaviors, to try to get what they want out of you, even if it is causing you some really bad harm. So far in the story, to bring you a bit of context, Milan knows there are some tough difficulties in the relationship between Tommy and Ghost. He knows that there has been some really bad altercations already, and they are kind of less and less agreeing on what they want to do out of this whole drug empire. So he's going to play on those vulnerabilities to try to get Tommy on his side. In the beginning of this clip, Milan is just chit-chatting randomly while eating his meat soup of some sort, it looks like, and he's not really discussing anything important.
To see if Ghost had told her about me. He told her everything.
But when he will start to use hypnotic language or stuff to try to control and manipulate Tommy's mind, he will right away stare into his eyes and slow down and lower the tone of his voice.
What would your life be like, Tommy, if you had no friends? If you were completely free?
I am free.
Are you? Or are you still loyal to a man who is not loyal to you?
The hypnotic gaze is very common. It is something that has been talked about throughout history into many treatises about hypnotism, and one big name that made this technique famous is the infamous Grigory Rasputin, who was known to have such an intense gaze that just one look of him into your eyes could make you see hallucinations, could make you hallucinate incredible or terrible things. And also, if you ask a question, which he just did here, when you ask a question, or even worse if it is a question intended at causing doubt and confusion into the person's mind, when you just ask a question and then you stop and you gaze silently into the person's eyes, what you're doing actually is that you are forcing their brain to process the question. In a normal conversation, in a normal chit-chat, ideas may go forth and go back and people may just think about something else. But if I ask you a question and then I just stop and look at you, even unconsciously, even if you're not aware of it, I'm going to force your brain to process what I just said, because it is like I'm waiting for an answer. It is just the intuitive communication abilities we all have, we are all born with, unless you were born out of society. But if you are born into society, you are just trained unconsciously to process those mechanisms. So the very next thing Milan is going to want to do is to induce more doubt and more confusion into Tommy's head about the things that are preventing him from removing his partner from the equation, which would be beneficial to Milan. And Tommy so far has too much loyalty for his partner in crime. He has way too much brotherhood and loyalty, so it is still deeply held into his head that no, this is my partner. And what Milan is trying to do, the Eastern Europe drug lord, is to get Tommy's head out of that. He wants to confuse the belief, which is also what we do in therapy in a way lighter way. We induce doubt on the limiting belief of the person to make them come out with something more positive for their life. The manipulative way of using that strategy is what is going to be seen here, to ask questions only to confuse the things people believe about themselves and about what is true about their life, just with the intent of manipulating them and getting what we want out of them. And by asking those kinds of very deep hypnotic questions like, what if you were completely free? Think about it. When you just induce those things and the person is processing and like, you're just opening a loop. You're opening a loop in their mind, and now the loop is just opened and you can come back to it later, which is what's gonna happen in this scene.
Right now, I bet Ghost is plotting against me, even though he knows I will kill the both of you if he tries to make a move.
He ain't tell me nothing about no plan.
Would he? You know the man. Would he tell you before he made a move? I see potential in you, my friend.
So now Milan is diving even deeper into the confusion, just trying to enforce his control over Tommy's mind by enforcing all the confusing aspects of his relationship with his childhood friend and partner in crime. He just wants to dig deeper into this and cause even more doubt. And more specifically, when you ask a question like, would he tell you about it? He just asked that because he knows there has been hidden statements or hidden actions between the two of them. Milan just knows there has been hidden components into their relationship lately, and he's using that to his advantage, obviously, which is what any manipulator will do. He will try to find your most vulnerable spots, the things you are vulnerable or uncertain about, and he will try to push on that to really make you doubt even more what you thought was true and get you even more into his control, under his control. And from now, going to the end of the scene, he's going to go back on the loop he has opened when he was saying, what would your life be if you were completely free, if you had no friends? And he knows secretly that Tommy's goal and big dream in life, outcome in life, is to become the biggest drug lord that the town has ever known, maybe even the country has ever seen. So he's playing on that, and he's going to dive deeper into that loop that he has opened earlier in the conversation.
I see potential in you, my friend. You could replace me. But you cannot get there as long as you are anchored to Ghost. A man you cannot trust.
And with the phrase, but you cannot get there as long as you are glued, I think he said, glued, or like you're stick to Ghost, you cannot get there yet because of that. This is a very common manipulative strategy also that I have talked about into another video right here. This is just reducing the attention of the person that you want to manipulate to only the thing you want them to do. So when a manipulator wants to get a hold of you, he will try to restrict your attention, your possibilities, the things you see as options into your life. He or she will just try to reduce that to only what he wants you to believe, what is beneficial to him personally. Even if it is destroying your life, doesn't matter, they just want control over you. If you want to know how this scene has been ending, I won't tell you because you will have to watch the show for yourself. It is actually season 3, Power season 3, episode 8 that this clip was from. Just as a conclusion, in terms of all the manipulators aspect and manipulative people and how to defend yourself against that. Basically, when a manipulator wants something, he will almost always, if not literally always, try to hit your most vulnerable spots. All the things you may be unsure about or insecure about, they will just constantly be on the lookout to find that in yourself. They will just constantly try to find your weak spots, the things you are not sure about, and only use that. Whenever they communicate with you, they will always bring back those topics, the things you are kind of unsure about, to just make you more defenseless, more delusional, or just less able to hold the confrontation. They just want to make you weaker so that they can use your potential, your gratitude, your admiration, whatever they want out of you. They will try to use that to their advantage, even if that destroys you. If you want to better figure out, find those people and defend yourself against them, just always be on the lookout for whenever somebody is proposing you something, or whenever somebody is trying to get something or like offering you some invitation, always ask what's in it for them. What are they getting out of it? Even if they don't clearly state it, but what are they getting if you say yes? The most classical example is the online marketer who wants to sell you some $5,000 package to live the life, live the good life, and become free if you join his business crypto venture. That is the most likely scenario, but there are many other ways of manipulating people outside of money, which you can be on the lookout for. Just whenever somebody is trying to propose you some invitation that you're not really sure about, either because it costs money or because it is going to cost you a lot of effort and time, or it is going to require you to distance yourself from people you love, just all those kind of weird, proposals, always a question, what's in it for him or her, or for them if it is a group? What are they getting if you say yes? And if you consider the idea of saying yes to that friend, who might not be a friend in the end, but it is weird, or to your girlfriend, maybe you have an abusive marriage or relationship, it can happen. Whenever you are about to say yes to something you were kind of concerned about because you're not really sure if you should, just question what state, which emotional state are you into, or were you into, when you were considering saying yes. Because it always comes down to how vulnerable you feel if at the moment you are about to engage into an activity, an investment, something requiring money or your time or your efforts. Whenever you are about to say yes, just question which state are you into. And if you are in a massive anxious state or completely lost in life, it's really not the right time to invest any of your assets, properties, qualities into anything, because you don't really have the clear mind, a mind clear enough to evaluate, is it really something for me? Better take a step back, discuss with long-lasting friends that you trust, and elaborate with them. Or should I really engage onto this path, onto this situation, this new job offer, this new career, like a drug lord empire, even if I would strongly discourage that path, but let's say you want to do that anyway, whatever. Just question what's in it for me and what's in it for them, and are they getting more than what I am getting from it?